Have you ever had a conversation that ended hours ago, but somehow your brain is still replaying it? Maybe it was something small, a weird tone in someone's voice, a pause that felt too long, a message that sounded colder than usual, and suddenly your mind starts running through every detail. Why did they say it like that? Did I sound stupid? Should I have answered differently? What did they really mean? You replay the moment again and again and again, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days, sometimes in the middle of the night, when your body is exhausted, but your mind refuses to let go. If this happens to you often, you might think you're just overthinking. But what if that isn't true? What if your brain isn't obsessing for no reason? What if replaying conversations is actually a psychological defense mechanism, a hidden survival response your mind developed to protect you? Because for many people, replaying conversations isn't about being dramatic. It's about searching for danger, and your brain may be doing it automatically. Today, we're breaking down the real psychology behind why your mind replays conversations long after they're over, what it says about your emotional wiring, and why stopping it is harder than most people realize. Your brain is looking for hidden threats. Most conversations are simple. Words are exchanged. The interaction ends. People move on. But some brains don't process conversations that way. Instead of filing the moment away, the brain flags it as unfinished. It keeps the memory active. It reopens it, analyzes it, dissects every detail. Why? Because your subconscious is asking one question: did I miss something important? This happens because the human brain is built to detect threats, and not all threats are physical. Social rejection is a threat. Humiliation is a threat. Disapproval is a threat. Being misunderstood can feel like a threat. From an evolutionary perspective, losing social acceptance could mean isolation. And for ancient humans, isolation often meant death. Your nervous system still carries traces of that programming. So when an interaction feels uncertain, your brain treats uncertainty as unfinished danger, and unfinished danger demands analysis. That's why your mind keeps replaying. It's trying to decode what happened. You're trying to regain control. There's something deeply uncomfortable about not knowing what someone meant, not knowing how they perceived you, not knowing whether you made a mistake. The brain hates ambiguity because ambiguity removes control, and replaying conversations gives the illusion of control. When you mentally revisit a conversation, your brain is attempting to solve it. It's searching for certainty. It believes that if it can just analyze enough details, it can finally reach closure. That's why you imagine alternate responses. You rewrite the dialogue. You replay different versions. You create better comebacks, better explanations, better reactions. This isn't random. It's your brain trying to reclaim power over something already gone. The problem The conversation is over. No amount of replaying changes reality. But your brain doesn't care. It cares about reducing uncertainty, even if the process becomes exhausting. It often starts with hyperawareness. People who replay conversations tend to notice details others miss. A slight facial expression, a tiny shift in tone, a pause before someone answers, a forced smile, a delayed text response. Most people brush these things off. Hyperaware minds don't. They register every microsignal. Then they start building interpretations. That pause felt strange. Why did they hesitate? Why did their expression change? Sometimes this sensitivity is natural, but often it develops through experience. If someone grew up in unpredictable environments, their brain may have learned that small changes in behavior carry important meaning. A tiny shift could signal anger, disappointment, withdrawal, conflict, so the brain becomes highly trained to scan for subtle signals. This skill can make someone incredibly perceptive, but it can also trap them in constant analysis, because once your mind notices everything, it struggles to ignore anything. Your mind is trying to protect you from future pain. At its core, replaying conversations is often preventative. Your brain isn't just reviewing the past. It's preparing for the future. It's asking, what can I learn from this so I don't get hurt again? If a conversation made you feel embarrassed, rejected, exposed, or misunderstood, your brain stores it as valuable survival data. Then it replays the event to extract lessons. How could this have been avoided? What should you say next time? What signals should you notice earlier? This is why some people replay even harmless conversations. Their brain has learned that social mistakes can carry emotional consequences, so it becomes hypervigilant. It starts treating every interaction like something that must be reviewed. The intention is protection, but the result is mental exhaustion. Perfectionism makes it worse. If you hold yourself to extremely high standards, conversation replay becomes even stronger, because perfectionistic minds rarely allow mistakes. Every awkward pause becomes evidence. Every imperfect sentence becomes proof. Every misunderstood comment becomes something to fix. Perfectionism turns ordinary human interaction into performance evaluation. And when the interaction ends, the internal review begins. You become both participant and judge. You analyze what you said, how you sounded, how you looked, whether you appeared confident enough, smart enough, interesting enough. The standard becomes impossible. And because perfection is unattainable, the replay loop never fully resolves. The brain confuses thinking with solving. This is one of the biggest psychological traps. Your brain often believes thinking more equals solving more. So it keeps going. One more replay, one more angle, one more interpretation. It feels productive. It feels necessary. But often, It isn't solving anything. It's just looping. Psychologists call this rumination. Rumination tricks the mind into believing it's making progress. But instead of reaching resolution, it deepens emotional discomfort. You don't feel better. You feel more stuck because your brain is revisiting the same material without new information. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. No amount of starring creates the missing parts. Why it happens more at night. Ever notice how these thoughts hit hardest when you're trying to sleep? That's not random. During the day, your attention is scattered. Work, notifications, movement, distractions. But at night, external stimulation fades, and your internal world gets louder. The brain finally has space to process unresolved material. So unfinished social interactions rise to the surface. Your nervous system starts reviewing, analyzing, searching. This is why one tiny awkward moment from 2 p.m. suddenly feels massive at 1 a.m. Your brain has fewer distractions competing for attention, and replay takes over. What it actually says about you. If you replay conversations often, it doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. In many cases, it means your brain is highly reflective, highly sensitive to nuance, highly aware of interpersonal dynamics. These can be powerful traits. People like this often read people quickly, notice hidden tension, catch inconsistencies, understand emotional subtext, see patterns others miss. The issue isn't the awareness itself. The issue is when awareness becomes obsession, when reflection turns into self-punishment, when analysis becomes paralysis. That's when the mind stops protecting you and starts trapping you. How to break the loop. The goal isn't to stop reflection completely. Reflection is useful. The goal is to stop unnecessary replay. The first step is recognizing when analysis becomes repetition. Ask yourself, am I learning something new or repeating the same thought? If it's repetition, your brain is looping. The second step is accepting uncertainty. You may never know exactly what someone meant. You may never know how they interpreted your words. And that's okay. Closure doesn't always come from answers. Sometimes it comes from letting ambiguity exist. The third step is reminding yourself of something powerful. Most people are thinking about themselves far more than they're thinking about you. That conversation you've replayed 20 times. There's a good chance the other person barely remembers it. And finally, practice self-permission. You are allowed to be imperfect in conversation. You are allowed awkward moments. You are allowed pauses, mistakes, and unfinished thoughts. Human interaction was never meant to be flawless. Final thought: if your mind keeps replaying conversations, it may not be because you're broken. It may be because your brain learned that paying close attention kept you safe. That analysis protected you. That replay helped you prepare. But survival habits don't always serve us forever. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let the moment go, not because it didn't matter, but because you no longer need to keep reliving it. Sometimes peace begins the moment your mind stops searching for the perfect response to a conversation that's already over.